Hello Procrastinator, Sam here, and I want to welcome you guys to E3. I'm so excited to see what we have in store here. It turns out we're going to actually get Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces footage in a second, so I set up all my stuff so you guys can see my reaction live. I haven't seen anything yet, nothing came out yet. So if you guys want to enjoy my reaction, go ahead and give a like button to this video. If you guys want to subscribe to stay up to date to all things Sonic or gaming related, go ahead and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get to the video.
Now we're going to head on over here to talk about another classic franchise.
I think this is it, everybody.
From my youth, Sonic.
Yep.
I'm here with Aaron
Let's go.
From Sega. Good to see you, Aaron.
How's
How's everything?
Good to see Aaron.
We're going to talk about all things Sonic. Now there are two Sonic games coming out.
Yep.
Sonic.
Sponsored by
Forces
Totino's
Sonic
Pizza
Mania.
Rolls. Oh Jesus
Where
Christ!
should we start?
Let's start with some Sonic Forces. We're actually gonna go
All right,
ahead and
Sonic
play the
Forces,
game live.
yes.
We're going to play for you while we tell you
do
about
it.
the game. So, some of the magical
Oh wow!
controller.
Some of the magic.
All right,
On
let's do it.
PS4, it seems.
Okay, so we're going to start off. Sonic Forces is a game with 3 unique gameplay styles. The first of which is the modern Sonic gameplay. We'll start with that right now. So playing as modern Sonic, we've kind of evolved and inherited a lot of the things that fans and critics alike said they liked about 3D Sonic. Stuff like Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations. So by collecting wisps, like the boost meter in the bottom left there fills up, and now by holding down the boost button, we can go through at a pretty blazing speed, just like in Generations or in previous Sonic games, like Sonic Unleashed. So it's kind of an evolution of
Okay,
what
so
people said was the best about
pretty much the
those
same, but I
3D
feel like
modern
he has
Sonic
more
games that they
control.
like the most.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any Shadow in this game?
Will you see Shadow? That's a good question. There's actually kind of an all-star cast of Sonic characters returning. Most of them making cameo
Now we can
appearances,
see what
like
happens
Knuckles
after this
up there
video,
in the top right.
or
What
after
about
this
Shadow?
part right
You
here.
really like Shadow, don't
Can
you?
you confirm Shadow?
I'll say stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. We didn't get the Shadow exclusive. Damn it.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. Jeff Keighley, Shadow fanboy. I had no idea, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah, back in the day.
That's all right. That's all right.
Man, those
So, anyways,
they keep talking
I mean,
up
it
there.
looks obviously incredibly fast. What people like from Sonic, but also very playable.
Double jump. He has a
very
double
cool
jump.
You guys are, doing
Did I just see him
a
double jump?
Old school but new school Sonic game,
Yeah.
which is great. When is this one going to come out?
This one's coming out in holiday.
Yep,
of
double
this
jump,
year.
100%.
And the game itself is, we talked about, it's a little bit like Generations, and you can kind of see that here. We're going into the more 2D side-scrolling style, some rail grinding that started back in like Sonic Adventure 2 and it's kind of evolved with the series. And this is only one of 3 gameplay styles, but I'm going to go ahead and show you
Oh wow! All right.
another one. Let's take a look.
Okay,
So
'cause
let's take a
we
look
kind of
at
already get
Classic
that one.
Sonic. We've got a boss fight.
Demo
Classic
version.
Sonic. So we'll do that real quick.
I really hope they upload a
Classic
demo
Sonic, a lot like
online.
Sonic
That'd be
Generations,
awesome.
if people play that game and loved it. Very similar to that. And this one starts in Green Hill Zone with the villainous Dr. Eggman here to fight us. A little throwback to an old Sega Genesis boss fight. But instead of a wrecking ball, now he has a saw blade. What we're going to try and do is dodge that saw blade and get around and hit him.
Not easy to demo and talk.
Demoing and talking.
Good job, Aaron.
They tell you it's a little tricky. Let's see here. All right, we got it so far. So you think, oh, cool, we beat the boss. There's a little twist, and this is the Egg Dragoon.
What the hell?
Boss. So we wanted to kind of add a lot into something.
The Egg
that people
Dragoon.
hadn't, seen before, weren't expecting, and that's where the Egg Dragoon shows up here. And now we've got
A true boss fight.
That
That's
is
right.
insane.
It wouldn't be a true boss fight without at least like 4 phases, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. Now the team that's developing this is being done in Japan.
That's right. This is Sonic Team in Japan.
Yeah.
So the same people that brought you Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations, right? And they've taken a lot of the fan feedback and really evolved it and made this game. Now, of course, there is a third gameplay style we're going to talk about in a second that's very different.
So you could
That's
destroy
thing
the
that's brand new
platform.
in Sonic Forces.
Are you going to beat the boss? That's the question. I don't think it may not happen today.
I think I'm going to hit him one more time. All right, cool. And now,
Do you hear that boss music? Oh man,
would've beat him,
you
don't
can't
worry.
show him.
believe in me, please.
Damn.
Yes.
Now we're going to go ahead and show you guys the
I believe
third
you,
gameplay
Aaron.
style. This is a custom character gameplay style. As we're calling it here the Avatar stage.
Avatar
In
stage.
Sonic Forces, players get to create their very own character through the game, and it shows up in the cutscenes. You can customize it both with accessories and with
I'm so hype.
What we use to platform and attack. I'm going to use the burst here.
Avatar
So
stage.
we're going to take a look at a level with that, and I'll show you guys how it works. We've done some random characters here, but you can customize.
What
and
the
accessorize
hell
your
is
own
that in the
character however you want.
background?
7 different animal types to pick from. Each has different abilities. All right, by holding the trigger button, I can activate the offensive ability of that. Which in this
Tell
case
me
is
the
Flamethrower.
characters don't keep talking
Why
over and
not?
over again.
Because why not?
Mario
Because it
can
seems
have
like they
a
do.
It's been a crazy E3 this year.
I know.
Maybe you could turn them
Lots
off.
happening this year. So I'm
But
gonna
okay,
try
they
to
actually don't seem to
here
be
we go.
talking
And in
all the
addition to
time,
just
so it's not
using
too
it
bad.
For offense, we
That's
can actually use it to platform too. So depending on what we pick, we can adjust it. In this case, I'm going to grab.
So depending
that
on the
capsule
gadget,
there,
you
just
could
some
do
Sonic
different
colors.
platforms.
Yep.
Now by pushing, let's see the meters filled up in the bottom left there. Now I can use this to platform and kind of launch myself
Nice.
into the air. And by collecting more of those as I go through here, I can just keep refilling it And if I'm good enough, right, we can get those red star rings, that's a collectible, as well as other things and secrets hidden throughout the game. Lots of different paths to take. Sonic games typically have 3 different paths, right? An upper, a middle, and a lower path.
You are just destroying things with that flamethrower.
Yeah, it's a little broken. Hopefully they don't nerf it by the time the game comes out. I quite like this one. So that's a good sample, I think, of Sonic Forces. Again, 3 different gameplay styles, Modern Sonic, Classic Sonic, your own custom character. It's coming out on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch this holiday.
Oh, wow. All right, so it's just them out there. But you talked about Classic Sonic. There is an even more classic Sonic than
yes, yes, there is.
Sonic
Dude,
Mania.
the song in the
right.
background.
About that.
Yeah, let's do it. I think we'll have some footage that will show up magically on the screen here in a second.
Okay, and we'll talk about that one. So that
do it.
is, this is total classic Sonic.
Here we go. Here we go. All right.
Tell us about this. The old school style, but it's still new, new gameplay, right?
So this is really special. This is a game that was
So it's showing it showed Dr. Robotnik
with Sega. It's one of the first times Sega has ever done that. And the cool thing about it is it's being developed by fans who really appreciate and love what classic Sonic was. You can see
it's
that
so
in the work
crazy
they're
that we have the Sonic
doing.
2 final
Whitehead,
boss.
who made all
as
the
the
remasters
Green
of
Hill
Sonic
Zone
1
boss.
and 2 and CD. Simon Tomley, who worked with him on some of those, the team at Pagoda West. Even the musician, actually, his name is T. Lopes, is a huge fan of Sonic and has done remixes for years.
Wow.
This game is a 2D throwback. It's really the ultimate celebration of past and future. So it's a lot of things
Oh, it
you've
comes
seen
down
before,
like Sonic
this is
3 and
Green Hill Zone
Knuckles.
2, but that boss that we just saw there, that was the final boss from Sonic 2 showing up in the first level.
This
is
looked
Chemical
crazy.
Plant,
Chemical
Act
Plant.
2, and people will be like, wait, I don't remember this in Chemical Plant, and that's because this was never there.
This was
in the original.
awesome.
What we're showing off here are new elements and new mechanics that didn't exist.
I love the music T. Lopes made for that too.
Wow, this is cool. So fans working on it. How long have they been at work on this?
Man, it's been a little while now, and they started it about, I think, a year and a half ago. We announced it last year at our party in San Diego, and everyone kind of went crazy for it. We were super excited for it too, and now watching the game come together, watching
And
all the hardware.
that's from Sonic CD, I think. That
we've
little
got the
spinny.
3 playable characters, of course. We've got Sonic and Tails and Knuckles. So if you're like me and you had a little brother or sibling growing up, and you're like, I really wanted to play Sonic and Tails co-op mode, you can do that again in Sonic Mania 2.
Wow. Well, there's a lot going into this, and it's so cool that you guys are collaborating with fans.
This
to bring
looks
this
so
back. So it's sort of
awesome.
a virtual development.
Then you could choose where you want to go.
That's right. They're all working very hard on it. There's a team in Seattle. It's Pagoda West. A lot of people there.
It's sponsored by
There's Christian, I think,
Tostino's
is
Pizza
working
Rolls.
from
It's just
Australia,
killing me.
As he works hard on this.
I thought we were over that.
This is also coming out on pretty much every platform: PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. But this one's coming out on August 15th. And
Wow, this summer.
That's right. And
Okay.
we're like months away, and so we're all super stoked. The pre-order just went live.
Yes.
For it. So we're so excited.
I
for
feel like,
Sonic Mania.
you guys have put a lot of care into sort of bringing back this Sonic. I mean, not that it never went away, but it's sort of like, a lot of
it
things
kinda
going
did.
on. 2 games this year. I know there's a film that's going to come out at some point.
That's
too.
The
right.
film, dude, I
That's right.
forgot that
Yeah.
existed.
I can't tell you anything about that film, but yes, there is a film. You know, and it's a good time for Sonic. And the last couple of years, a lot has really changed for Sonic. From everything that we've done with the games and kind of the different direction we've taken on social media, and all of that has been kind of this new push for him. And so we hope fans are very excited.
All right. Well, it is great to hear about all things Sonic, Aaron. Thank you for
Thank you
stopping
so much.
by.
Yeah.
And
All right. So, wow. All right. So we got a lot of stuff from that. Now, what I want to do is I want to go back and let's go through the footage and see what we could pick apart, what we could see here. Let's go to the modern Sonic footage. Obviously, the way he's locking onto enemies looks a little different. It looks like the reticule they use is a little more open. I guess the reticule they used to use was just, I don't know, a little clunky. This looks a lot cleaner. I like it. And it seems like the gameplay for modern Sonic actually seems a lot more fluid than usual. He's not always bouncing off the walls. He did sometimes, but I do see him mainly sticking to the main road, not completely bouncing off the walls. So that's good. So it looks like they may have improved a lot of 3D Sonic's control. Now, one thing I want to mention is the characters that talk on the top right. Now, I do notice that they do have voice acting as well. I really hope they learned that we don't want to hear them talk constantly. If we learned anything from Sonic Generations final boss fight, it's a homing shot. We don't want to hear that. Just if this is just for the tutorial, okay. But if this happens throughout the whole game, please let us turn them off, or please limit yourself, Sega, because I don't want to hear them talk constantly while I'm trying to play the game. But all that aside, I'm sure they've learned by now, hopefully. And let's see what we got here from Classic Sonic. This is cool. So we start off with kind of Tails and Eggman bantering, which I like. I like the character bantering and interactions together. Very cool. It really gives them more character than they've had in a while. So I think that's really cool. I like the little twist to the boss fight, though I am completely sick of seeing the Green Hill ball on a chain type of thing. But it's good to know that that's not actually the boss fight. This is kind of just like a trick type thing. Now, so other than that, we see the Egg Dragoon pop out of nowhere, which I think is really cool. This boss fight actually looks kind of tricky, but really cool. So it looks like you have to hit the black boulders back at them, and you could destroy the pieces of Green Hill that he's throwing at you. So, okay, pretty simple looking boss fight, pretty cool. Now we get to the interesting stuff. Now we get to the Avatar gameplay. And other than Amy and them constantly telling you how it works, the platform actually just looks pretty solid. Where you have to watch where you are. That big mech in the background looks really cool. And the music in the background is just phenomenal. Something else I noticed while he was playing the custom character thing is that the flamethrower seems to be a little OP, so hopefully they nerf that. I do agree a bit. Based on the gameplay that I saw, it looks like he's just running through enemies no problem. So hopefully they do nerf it a bit or change it somehow where you can't abuse it so much. So now let's go back to Sonic Mania. Now that's something that I hope you guys really enjoy, because I love that. Seeing what the final boss is for Green Hill Zone is the final boss of Sonic 2. I never would have guessed it. But I think this is the 5th time that this boss has reappeared. Though this seems to be slightly different. He's actually shooting bombs in front, because usually on Sonic 2 in the final boss, he'll only shoot the bombs when you're behind him. Turns out he's shooting them in front. He's shooting bombs. He's shooting his super long arms at you. All really cool, really somewhat unique. And then we get to my territory, which we're going into Sonic 2 territory, which is my favorite Sonic game of all time. That's just for the nostalgia factor. But I will say Sonic 3 Knuckles is a really good game. But Sonic 2, that's where I grew up. And seeing Chemical Plant return, though at first when I thought about it, I'm like, we already got it in Generations. Why is it coming back? Well, this is honestly not just Chemical Plant. This feels like a mix of a bunch of stages with Chemical Plant's level design. We have different types of goos, like the pink ones on the wall, like you stick to the wall. The green one lets you bounce, and then this time you can actually choose when you're in the pipes what direction you want to go, which makes for a lot more replayability value. So that's awesome. And then that's what I love about Sonic Mania is the replayability value. There's so much to it. It's so awesome, and it all just looks really, really good. The DNA thing looks awesome. Just the enemies that returned from other games that are now in there now, that fit actually pretty well. I think it's really cool. I think that's actually a spring that's on top of the spiral thing that Knuckles goes down. So it looks like there's actually another platform above there. Again, just so many platforms, so many ways to go. It's just making me more and more excited. Then the final thing they talked about was the Sonic movie. Guys, I forgot that existed. It's been so long. I think one of my first videos I made was me talking about the Sonic movie, and it's just been forever now. We haven't got any information about that. But anyhow, I assume that's really it right now for the E3 footage. I'm sure there might be more later on, but from what I've seen so far, this looks really awesome. Sonic Forces is getting more and more interesting as it goes. And Sonic Mania, of course, is already up there. So we learned a little bit new today. We learned that the different characters in the Sonic series are there in form of walkie-talkie. I'm a little worried based off of what I saw so far that they might talk a little too much. But nevertheless, other than that, guys, I'm excited. All right, procrastinators, it turns out it's not over. We're about to have another interview with IGN soon. Yeah, I know, IGN. So let's see how that goes.
You make Marty eat the mug, please. Can you do that?
That is our first order of business. Thanks a lot, Brian and Max. Okay, now it is time for a few video game icons and classic 2D gameplay. We've got 2 Sonic games to check out, Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania.
Stop talking.
Ready to see both with Aaron Weber. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Aaron,
thanks very much.
Give him hell.
Which
give him hell.
We start with?
I think
Forces or Mania.
Maybe some Mania.
Punch him!
Sonic
Punch
Mania.
him!
This is the more retro one of the two, right?
This is the 2D game. That's right. And Sonic Mania is being built by
is so
fans
awkward.
that have become professional developers, and so
see
it's
it.
really exciting because they've got this certain level of passion that you're not going to find anywhere else, right? It's like when you grow up with a video game, when you're breathing and sleeping and dreaming about it. That's the kind of people that make something really special because they put the extra love into it, and that's what Sonic Mania is really about.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic, especially core 2D Sonic games as a whole, have been around long enough to where, kids who grew up on them are now in their 20s, 30s, and so they are
That's
getting
exactly
jobs
right.
in the games industry, and so they're taking that thing they played so much as a kid, and then all of a sudden the roles reverse, and they're the creators.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's kind of cool because on one hand, you get to be part of something very special in that sense, right? You get to be part of creating this new Sonic game. And on the other hand, you want to also kind of be true to what came before. And so that's a really cool sort of duality to Sonic Mania that the developers have done here. It's Christian Whitehead, it's the guy that did the mobile remasters for Sonic 1 and 2 and CD.
Christian Whitehead,
Did a
honestly,
great
just so
job, and we're
talented.
like, well, instead of
I
having
can't
this guy
believe
do
he's
mobile
sitting there with the
remasters forever,
same
why
guys
don't they make new
that were
content?
dissing
Yeah,
Sonic
new
so
2D
hard
content.
and dissing
We
the
know a lot of people that wanna
fans.
see that.
So what is there, I mean, gaming
oh.
as a whole has changed a lot in the past 25 years.
Oh, tons.
Such.
So what do you have to do in order to keep the essence of Sonic that people
Like,
love
you are
in,
just
the
so
early 90s,
fake.
but still have it really accessible to people in 2017?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. And it's one that I know even you guys at IGN are constantly debating, like what makes a good Sonic game, right? And I have a great time watching those videos, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
Thank you,
We
Aaron.
love watching that stuff. So, one thing that I think is really key about Sonic is he's known for his speed, right? But when it comes to the 2D games, it's important to remember that it wasn't just about going fast. We love the catchphrase, gotta go fast. We put it on our Twitter channel all the time. We love Sonic. But it's important to remember that the original Sonic games were about speed as a reward, right? Here we go. We can take a look at some footage here. So the games are a bit about platforming as well. It's not just about running fast blindly because there are traps, there are spikes, there are pits, there's water. You've got to watch out for this kind of stuff. So you can't just hold right to win. You can't just hold one button, and you've got to kind of memorize and practice. And that's what made the game so good back then. I mean, the classic games, you could play and beat Sonic 1 or 2 or 3. A lot of the games we're kind of referencing in Sonic Mania, you could beat those in a few hours. But the trick was that once you beat it, you weren't done. You would go back, you'd play the level again and be like, oh, I didn't know there was a whole different path through here, or I didn't know there were special stages here, or I didn't know that this character could do this here, right? Different abilities for Tails and Knuckles. We've got Sonic and Tails and Knuckles, all playable, of course, in Sonic Mania.
So for real, I feel like the chemical plant in Sonic 2 was the first time I had a panic attack, and I was like a child.
Was it
Like,
the
I was
drowning, was it the drowning
and
music?
it's the way the music would just get bump, 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 bump.
Yes.
That was the
I
first
can't
real
stop
terror I faced probably in my entire life.
staring at
That's,
him, being
in my
like,
opinion,
"You
one
are
of the
being
world's
so
best
fake right
alarm
now."
clocks.
I know I gotta get over it. But
Just get the drowning
Get you out of bed, though.
You will be up. You will be up.
by the way,
and
yeah,
alarm
that
will
is my
sound.
alarm
like
clock.
that
That's
at all.
actually my
You
ringtone
mentioned the
too.
music. How are you going about recreating the feel and sound of the original music?
Okay, this is cool too. So every aspect of Sonic Mania is being touched upon by fans who have become professionals in one way or another. The art, the updated pixel sprites, done by an artist who loved Sonic and is now working on that. Like that opening animation where Sonic pops up and spins around that we put in the reveal trailer, he built that over 2 weeks before our reveal last year.
Only 2 weeks? That's
the
insane.
music is the same way. There's a guy called T. Lopes. He started actually doing fan remixes of Sonic music, and now he's doing the actual remixes and brand new tracks for Sonic Mania.
How do you? So this has sort of been this appetizer platter of things from each of the classic Sonic games in terms of world motifs and sort of abilities and hooks. How did you go about looking past, into the original Sonic games and picking and choosing what you wanted to bring in this one and how you wanted to tweak it?
Yes, okay, this part was remarkably hard because you look at Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, and we know there's a ton of fans out there, very passionate fans watching the stream right now.
These are actually really
Hi, guys,
good
love you.
questions, though.
And these people, they want to see everything, right? To them, it's like, I would want all of this. And on top of that, they would love to see a ton of new stuff, too. And so we wanted to present something that gave them not only a bit of a nostalgic throwback, but a nostalgic throwback with new elements. And then on top of that, we give them brand new levels like Studiopolis or Mirage Saloon, both which we may have already shown in the background or are going to be showing, right? And so those are places that haven't shown up in any Sonic games. So the way we kind of cut it up is we're going to take the Act 1 and Act 2. Every Sonic game has an Act 1 and Act 2. So we're going to take the Act 2 of any of the classic levels, the levels that there we go, some Green Hill. This is Green Hill Act 2, actually. So even though this is Green Hill Zone, this never existed in the old Sonic games. This is a brand new level layout. There are references to the original prototypes from the first Sonic game, hidden in the background, the giant totem poles, what you're seeing there.
And it's gone.
and whatever that was.
That was an interesting feature that was built into the game.
I think that was more of an IGN feature than anything.
IGN exclusive. All right. Hey, we're back. Look at that.
So this is a new Sonic game. We're not looking at Sonic 1, 2, or 3 right here.
No, exactly. And so like this spike bridge right there, it's a reference to the original Sonic game. You can do other cool things. Like if we get that fire shield.
That's definitely Sonic 3.
Which is from Sonic 3, exactly. If we run that fire shield over the bridge, we can burn the bridge,
awesome.
right? So now there's this interactivity in the levels, and we can use that to get to the secret items down below. And so it's really all about saying, when we say classic stage, people know that we mean one act that is a little bit similar to what you remember, but has some new stuff, and then an act 2 that is totally different from what you're expecting.
I like the idea of sort of
I love the music.
Fans in with the familiar, and
that really is such a good idea.
Bait and switch, but then giving them something totally unexpected, or melding in these moments from several games at once to be like, oh, I haven't had to do this before. Like, let me figure out what to do right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, for us, it's kind of cool because the proof is really, it's there. Like, you have a developer like Christian Whitehead who has proven he can not only take the originals, but when he made those mobile remasters, he actually improved the games on like Sonic 1 and 2 and CD. And so you take his
cool. I don't
stuff
think we
and
ever
you go,
had footage of the
all
mobile
right,
shows
we've got
yet.
this guy super passionate. Let's see what he can do when they're making new content, right? You have that entire team, a guy called Christian, Simon, and a team called Pagoda West are the 3 groups that are making this happen. And each of those guys so passionate. So they add all these elements from different Sonic games and splice it together. This is a cool moment. All right. This is the first
Oh, we've never
boss, the first
seen
boss
like
of the game.
actual
It's
like
a
it coming in.
Well, this seems like an endgame boss right now.
It was, actually. This was the final boss from Sonic 2. And we just kind of revealed it recently that this was the very first boss.
Okay, so you kind of jump on. Okay, that is cool.
To go, ah, yes, Green Hill Zone. I remember strolling about the beautiful hillsides.
And you're like, nope.
The waterfalls, the final boss from Sonic 2. Wait a minute, that was not here. And so having those kind of surprise moments is really cool.
I hope this really does make them feel like,
not to spoil anything else, because
you guys need to stop hating for no reason before you know what you're talking about. Because they hated on Sonic Mania so much.
When they play the game.
One of the things that differed a little bit in every game were sort of the bonus stages, the special stages. Whether you were in a half pipe, whether you're in like the pachinko board or the sphere maze.
That's right.
What are we going to see in this one? Can you say?
I can't really go into detail, but I can tell you we are certainly considering all of that kind of stuff as far as the full game is concerned. To us, it is very important that you have that full experience, right? And so bonus stages are a key part of that.
Is there a chance it could be a 5v5 MOBA? Sonic
well,
MOBA?
Now that you mention it.
If you guys do that, I'm getting a cut of it.
You know anybody that works at Riot?
We'll talk after this.
Okay, all right. We'll talk.
So Sonic Mania is a Switch game? It's not just coming to Switch,
Not just Nintendo Switch. It's going to be pretty much on every major platform. So we're coming out Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and also PC.
Which I got for my collector's edition.
Game, there was one thing we also wanted to really get right, and that is, if you grew up like me and you had a little brother, and that little brother in Sonic 2 or 3 was like, I want to play, the game too, and you're like, nah, little bro, I'm playing right now, right? You remember those days, right? And mom and dad are like, hey, let him play. Well,
I was actually the little bro, so right now I'm totally sympathizing with your brother.
So the great thing about Sonic 2 and 3 is that you could say, all right, little bro, take the second Genesis controller and play as Tails, and you can play together. And even though the camera really only follows the first player, right, the second player can come in as Tails, help you get items. The cool thing about Tails is Tails can die as much as they want, and it doesn't penalize you. So there's there's that joke in the Sonic community that Tails can never die.
I like to think that's canonical. Like he's like
he's immortal.
He's just immortal.
I'm here to tell you today.
By the way, I want to apologize for not talking too much. It's because I also want to hear this as well.
Everything can die and everyone eventually dies. I'm like, oh no, Sonic got dark.
That would get remarkably dark. I wouldn't take it that far. But
is this the first bar in a 2D Sonic game? We just literally ran through a saloon.
That's why it's rated M.
Yeah.
That's not a bar. That is a juice vending area.
Yeah.
The Sonic characters drink juice. Apple juice, pineapple juice. Lots of water. They like to stay healthy so they can run so
They don't want
much.
to get a cramp. That'd be an awful feature in the game. So this is a new motif,
level,
right?
Yeah. The cool thing about this level is this is kind of inspired by a level that was cut and never made it into one of the older Sonic games. And one of the developers, Christian, had been trying for so long to find a way to get this back in. Had tried to put it in one of the.
I think that is a really good idea,
Didn't
is
work.
taking
He's
levels
like,
that were
"All right,
cut
we're making a new game.
before.
We're gonna make this thing happen. And so they built this level. There are posters here. This is Mirage Saloon. There are posters around of. Wanted posters that have faces of past Sonic characters on them that are kind of like out there. You guys may or may not know this. You ever heard of a game called Sonic the Fighters?
Was that
heard the name.
Was that for one of the stranger Sonic Sega consoles?
Yeah,
it was like 32X.
It was a weird one. It was in the arcades even, and so then they ported it. It was on like a GameCube collection later. And it was a fighting thing, believe it or not. And there's a
Do we
couple
get to see the
characters
boss
from
for this?
that game that even
Oh, I
show
guess
up.
not.
And so there's a lot of cool things in here, little nods that we put in for the fans. But the cool thing about this kind of a game is that you don't have to be a hardcore Sonic fan to like this. You pick up the controller, you're like, oh, that's how I move.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I roll, I jump. That's it, right?
Yeah.
And you pick up golden rings to not die, and that's pretty much how the game flows. And so just like the originals, it's kind of got that level of intricacy, but likewise the same ease to pick up and play that the originals had too.
So like, how authentic are you trying to be? Like, could these new levels have run on the Sega Genesis? Like, try to limit yourself
Here's the
to
cool
what
thing.
could have worked?
I wouldn't say Genesis. What the team wanted to do is say, so Sonic and Knuckles, right? What would be the next step after Sonic and Knuckles?
I see.
If this was like a 2D platform that maybe ran on the Sega Saturn, that's actually the level that they are going for. So the Sega Saturn is kind of
I think
the
that is
bar
really
that they
cool.
are trying to stick to.
They're like,
Speaking my language, yeah. Are you
what if it just
Xbox
continued?
One X?
Yes.
Well, as you can see, the
Built for
graphics are
4K.
very intense.
Yeah.
And really, the only way to play it is in 4K.
Sure,
Otherwise,
yeah.
those pixels get really messed up.
I love that.
So what's the thing that gets you the most excited about Sonic Mania?
Oh man, can I say all of it? But
Yeah.
So the graphics are awesome because it's a throwback. The controls are perfect because as someone who cares a lot, like I grew up playing Sonic games, right? It's important that classic Sonic feels like it controls right. Christian and his team have made sure that it is spot on, right? If not improved it in some ways. The music is great. Like it's the entire package. And what I'm most excited for is playing through it and seeing those new experiences and then getting to watch our fans as they play it and play, put it on YouTube or stream it and to watch their reactions when they get to those moments that we've hidden in the game, just to see what they do. Yeah.
I love that.
That is Sonic
I'm
Mania.
sure there's
We have
so
to take
many
a quick
hidden
break,
stuff,
but
too.
we will be right back with more Sonic after this.
cool. All right, so I might get Sonic Forces after this one. Okay, so let me just say something real quick. I think it's so funny that these guys that talk so much crap about Sonic before, and if you guys don't know my past IGN video, go ahead and check it out. And then seeing what they're talking about now, it's like, why did you give Sonic such a hard time the first time? Why did you bash the fans so hard for something so minor? It's just a series where people just like to have fun and play games. There's no reason to hate on it. But yeah, nevertheless, I digress. Let's just move on past that. I just think it's funny and I can't stop mentioning it. And I'm excited for them to talk about, for them to try to talk about 3D Sonic, because they seem very forward about that. But anyways, yeah, so what we saw about Sonic Mania right there is that nothing like we haven't known before, other than that boss at the end, which looks so awesome. It's really cool. I'm excited to see what hidden stuff they put in it, because I'm sure there's like a lot of like details, Easter eggs, probably even like just jokes that only us would get, and I'm just excited for that. But yeah, let's just move on, and I'll come back to when they start talking about Sonic Forces. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3. We just got a hands-on look at Sonic Mania, and now we're going hands-on with Sonic Forces. Marty and I are being joined once again by Aaron Weber. Now, whereas Sonic Mania is the new throwback Sonic Forces is a more modern take on the game. Is that right?
That's exactly right. So Sonic Mania, a very 2D, retro-style game being developed by Sega in collaboration with fans and fan developers. Sonic Forces is the new game from Sonic Team.
Right.
It's being developed on a brand new engine called the Hedgehog Engine 2, and it evolves what fans and critics alike said they liked most from 3D Sonic games. So in particular, that's stuff like Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations for 3D Sonic. We've added in Classic Sonic from Sonic Generations, and for the first time, fans can create their own unique character and customize it and customize the way it plays as they go throughout the game.
Okay, so tell us, give us a little bit of detail about that.
How does that work?
The roster of Sonic characters has grown, especially like once Sonic Adventure was introduced.
Yep.
The roster grew and it only grew from there. So the decision to let people actually sort of put their own personal stamp on it, where did that come from?
Yeah, that was an interesting thing because I think the team in Japan was partly inspired by the amount of creativity that exists within the Sonic fan base. There's a lot of people out there that have very talented, abilities when it comes
Very
to creating
messed
their own
up abilities,
characters.
some of them.
And as far as the internet's concerned, sometimes we see the crazy things too. But I'd like to also point out that there are a lot of super talented fans out there that make really cool stuff. And so we're allowing players now to take that and kind of, to a certain extent, make that within the game, within kind of the world and the rules of the Sonic.
So do you choose like a base animal?
That's
and
right.
then
Yep.
you start customizing like color, gender, that kind of thing?
Exactly. So you start with one of 7 types of animals.
Okay.
Each of the animals has a different ability. So one of them might pull in rings that are nearby you. One of them, if you get hit, might keep an extra ring, you know, so you can get hit a second time.
Yeah.
One of them might have a double jump. So that's how you start, and then from there you start to customize the base model, right? You pick the gender, you pick, you know, the eye color, you pick the color of the body, and then from there you can unlock accessories and kind of deck them out as you're playing through the game.
Oh, cool.
And the more that you play, the more you're unlocking.
And
for your
that
character.
adds a
Are
lot of
those accessories
replayability to the
cosmetic, Or do
game.
they also give some sort of like stat boost or abilities?
Both. That's the cool part. So there's 2 types.
That's what I really
There's
like.
What I'm just going to call accessories here, and what are called wisp-ons. And accessories are how to decorate your character, make it look cool, right? And some people have asked us, is that going to show up in the cutscenes too? You know, like this is the joke with every game that has a custom character, and there's this really serious cutscene, and then your character walks in looking really silly with a sombrero or something.
Yeah,
that happens.
Right?
Yeah, you can watch our Mass Effect review.
So that, yes, your character will show up in the cutscenes
Cool.
with whatever you choose to put on them.
I like it. I like it.
We're playing through, actually, here we go. We're playing through his modern Sonic right now. You're talking about the cast of characters. There's Vector the Crocodile, Charmy the Bee. Now, one of the cool things, you know, about this game is we've tried to really hone in on 3 gameplay styles and stick to those 3 gameplay styles. Sonic Adventure had 6 gameplay styles,
Yeah.
you know. It's kind of been condensed down a little bit, but even though we've got modern Sonic here, which is that evolution of colors and generations, like I mentioned earlier, the original character they get to make kind of plays a little bit differently, and we're gonna demonstrate that. Modern Sonic's got the homing attack. That was the stomp there that we just saw. Obviously, he's got the boost, and there's a boost. meter in
It's
the
so
bottom left that
fluid.
you
I
can
love
see.
it.
And so we're gonna see. There we go. There's Amy confirming that Shadow has been spotted. Oh my goodness.
So how did you, obviously in the initial...
What if
reveal trailer,
Shadow's
you
helping
had both
Eggman?
Modern Sonic as
That
well
might
as sort
be
of
it.
The little classic Sonic, the little,
Yeah, yeah.
The little chub.
Just got a little.
Yeah, which no, I love. So what was the, you know, where did that decision come in? To like, hey, let's sort of, you know, allow both worlds to collide.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty easy actually, because you look back at the games that both fans and critics, like I mentioned, really liked.
Yeah.
You know, and as far as 3D Sonic is concerned, one of the most loved ones was Sonic Generations. And people said this is a great throwback. The controls feeling good. It's feeling like a good step forward. And so we didn't want to necessarily just take that cookie cutter, right? The team never wants to take something and just do the same thing. So they wanted to make, you know, a game where it's not throwback levels. It's a lot of new stuff in there. And we have like a green hill, but it's kind of like a dusty, deserted green hill that's being destroyed a little bit, right?
He's given up.
He's actually he's jumping to another level to show us the green hill
nice.
in a second, which is there's a boss fight we're going to show off. It's going to be everything you're seeing here is going to be playable at E3. So if people are watching this and want to play, come by our booth.
You guys are so lucky at E3.
Check it out. You can play all of the 3 levels we're going to show today, as well as Mania, of course. So Green Hill looks a little bit different, right? There's some throwbacks in there, but a lot of it's new. And so that's a big thing for us. So here we go. I think I hear it at least.
We can hear it. I hear the rolling.
Powering up.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, so this is cool. So this feels like very much a classic Sonic boss.
Yeah, minus the spinning saw blade. Which
Honestly,
it was a wrecking ball.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's you know, just slightly more violent.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh cool, I beat the boss, and then not quite surprised. So
Okay,
as you beat,
I did not expect that. I'm gonna be honest.
well, good. We surprised
Yeah,
you
you
once
did,
at least.
yeah.
All right. So you get these moments where, like, here comes the Egg Dragoon, which is a very different boss from the original Sonic 1 boss in Green Hill Zone. And now he's got his own attacks. In the background, you can kind of see like the sand fall that's happening because Eggman has taken over the world. So Sonic and classic Sonic,
And from what we've
the
seen so
character
far, we
you
just
make
gotta
in
hit
the
back
game
the boulders,
are all kind of fighting
just like
together
that.
as part of a resistance to take back the world from Dr. Eggman. So in some ways, it's a little bit darker, but you still got your bright moments and bright levels, like you kind of see here with the grass blowing in the wind there. And we're just fighting back against Eggman. I think we're going to try and beat him here.
You mentioned you wanted to pare it down to 3 sort of more focused games.
This boss actually looks really cool. I'm actually like I'm hyped.
Running through the city.
I wouldn't call it adventure. I'd call it more like Generations.
Okay, more like Generations.
Like an evolution of Generations, slightly.
And then we saw it sort of go into a 2D-ish.
That's right.
And then what would you say is the third?
The third is the original character,
Okay.
like the custom avatar gameplay style, and that
Sooner or later.
is sort of a little bit of the modern
just
Sonic
wait.
that we
Okay.
saw.
Huh.
But it's got some new stuff in there with the
Okay, so there is a
respawns,
ranking system.
as well as the grappling hook that you've got.
Nice.
Lets you swing around levels and get to different parts, and we're going to see that in just a second.
Very cool.
With a customized character?
That's right.
Okay,
That's
cool.
right.
So I'm curious, so you make your own character, then like when do you play as Sonic? Or do you choose who you play as with every level?
Good question.
Yeah.
So there are specific levels for specific characters.
Okay.
You can go through those as you go through the game.
Gotcha. So you
Okay.
guys sort of identify in the story, you're playing as Sonic now, you're playing as your
Exactly,
character.
as you flow through the game. Yep.
Okay.
And we'll take a look. We've got a randomizer here because we're like, we're making a build for E3. We should probably not let people make their own characters at E3 or the lines are going to be 8 hours
Yeah,
long.
I can
So
see that, yeah.
we just
That's a
it
good
randomizes it for you when you come to play. And so you can kind of see that was the stomp ability. That's the custom character.
Okay.
It's kind of small here, but you might see it in more a little closer as we get to the end of
What
this level.
are we playing as? What sort of a critter?
This is, I think it's the cat that we've got here. Yeah, you can make a cat,
Yeah.
make a rabbit,
Yeah.
you can make a bird. And this is the Wisp-On, and by pushing, in
bird.
this case, the triangle
Huh.
button, right, we
Oh, nice.
can bounce around and platform using the Wisp-On. At the same time, we can also use this Wisp-On to go on the offense. So we can hold down the trigger.
So
and
why
that'll
is the
let us
color washed out
pull
right
the
there?
flamethrower and just wipe
That's
out any
strange.
enemy.
I guess that's
that
just
comes
part
in
that's
our path as we're
dying.
going
Yeah,
forward.
I guess it's just
Just
dying.
like that.
It seems like in a platformer, precision is always key. So how do you balance giving the players the ability to sort of customize certain abilities?
Oh, it
certain
has a homing
stats
attack as well.
With, a platforming challenge.
Yeah, it's a good question, and I wouldn't think of it as like customizing stats. You're not going in and like adjusting your jump ability or anything like that.
You're not
more-
min-maxing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more of
Oh.
like customizing that
God.
Wisp-On that you see the character with, and so you're adjusting how can I platform through the level when I collect those wisps, right? What secrets can I get to that I couldn't get to with a different Wisp-On?
Yeah. It almost seems cool, like that seems like built for sequence breaking and speedrunning and like being able to watch
yeah.
people online do things where you're like, oh,
We're like,
we
we
totally
had-
didn't
yeah.
plan
Oh,
for that.
the bridge is
We've already had
collapsed.
that in some of our early testing. We're like, oh, do you know if you use this certain Wisp-On and just like hold this down, you can
That thing looks
completely skip these
insane
sections?
in the
Yeah.
background. Look
We
at
didn't know
that.
that was the thing. So,
I
you know,
love that.
it's kind of fun, and I hope, man, I can't wait to see speedrunners because they do an awesome job with Sonic games in general. I can't wait to watch them. Now, here we're coming at the end of the level.
Cool crab guy.
Ooh.
Yeah,
crab
right.
guy.
This
Do
is
we
a
have,
fun
like, a
moment
crab boss?
for the demo in the game.
Whoa!
There's a dragoon.
What is that?
This is a crab
Holy
rangoon.
cow!
We haven't edited it yet.
The Crab Rangoon. I'll let the dev team
Okay.
know that IGN has requested.
That's a freebie. They can, I can have that
It
one.
might be too late to change it, but
Okay.
I'll pass on the request. And this is kind of like a little mini boss. It's not really a full boss.
Yeah.
It's just kind of this cool cinematic moment at the end of the level, and we're dodging the bits of the level that it's throwing at us. You get a good view of the character that we've created here. Now, we've been pretty tame with this character. I just want to throw it out there. You can get really crazy with some of the accessories later as you collect them. And then we time that. Perfect. Just kind of a little cinematic moment as the character's going to zip around
Oh, this is, and now it's Uncharted.
That was Uncharted.
and take that thing down. Whew, perfect. So there's a lot of cool stuff in the game, and there's even more we haven't announced yet that we're going to kind of be talking about as we get a little bit into E3. So we have some more news coming up tomorrow.
You can announce it now if you want.
That's
I know,
how that's
but-
nice.
Yeah.
That's
My head of it-
awesome.
My PR team would kill me,
They're not
guys.
here. They're probably.
We'll
She's
protect
standing
you.
right over there, giving me this symbol. Like she's, I don't know about that.
So you announced platforms for Sonic Mania. What's up?
So Mania and Forces both coming out. PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
cool.
As we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier, on the Switch, you can actually take the Joy-Cons off and play Sonic and Tails
Yeah,
for Mania, which
I
is
like
really
that.
cool,
That's
worth
super
mentioning. Forces, again, the same platforms. And
That's
though
cool,
Forces
you can
coming
do
out
that with
this
the Switch.
holiday, we do have a release date for Mania, and that's going to be August 15th.
Oh, yeah, that's super soon.
This year. It's coming out really
right around the
soon.
corner.
That's terrifying.
So
This is.
we're stoked. Yeah, pre-order's up now, and we're like, we just can't wait for it to be here so we can see what people think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forces is later this year.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
End of
still
this year. Yeah.
coming 2017.
That's correct. Yeah.
What I think is really cool about Forces is that even though it's the more modern of the Sonic games, I can totally see the threads that connect it to
Yeah.
the classic Sonic games.
Yeah, which is actually
Especially
that's just a smart through line to both appeal to people like us who played Sonic when we were kids, but also kids now
It's
who are getting into
cool.
Sonic for the first time.
Yeah, and this started
So
with
it's good to
Generations,
see that
but the
they're-
title Generations meant
they're
more than just
finally
Generations of Sonic. It also
catching
meant
it. They
generations
finally
of, like,
see
us as fans, because
what
a lot of us
appeals
that
to
grew
us.
Up, as kids playing it now, getting old enough that we start having kids and
Yeah.
doing adult things, and you're like, I don't want to do that, right? But
Nope.
but even
Nope.
so,
Nope.
it's
Thank you.
happening. Time marches on,
Yeah.
So here we are, and it's kind of neat that a new generation of people can be introduced to Sonic, and just
Mm-hmm.
kids, dads can play with their sons, or mothers with their daughters, whatever, right? So it's kind of neat that we've come to that point now with Sonic and with other gaming icons.
Yeah.
Aaron, thank you so much for bringing not one, but two Sonic games by the
Pleasure.
IGN show.
Thanks so much for having
Yeah.
me.
Stay right there because Sony's press conference is still on the way, and
All
so is
right.
our pre-show. IGN Live at E3 continues right after this. Eat your mug.
I don't want to eat my mug.
Eat it. Eat it.
IGN Live at E3
All right. So we saw a lot. It was really cool. Unexpected by IGN, but all right, it was actually pretty good. I liked the interview. They ended up doing a pretty good job interviewing him, asking really good questions, a lot of questions that we have in our mind. And at the end of it, it showed a lot of stuff that we haven't seen before. And with all that said, I'm excited. I'm even more excited for Sonic Forces because it just looks fun. It just looks fun, and I just want to get my hands on it. Sonic Mania, of course, like I said before, time and time again, countless times. Nothing wrong with that game. Looking forward to it. No doubts whatsoever. So with all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Sam signing out. Have a good day.